So you don't have time. You don't have time to get an hour's worth of training done or an hour's worth of walking done. So you don't have time. You don't have time, right? You don't have time to invest in self-care. You don't have time to take brief walks during the day. You don't have time to give a ish about what you put in your mouth, what goes down your system, what goes into your bloodstream. You don't have time to give a ish about what you're digesting and what's flowing through your bloodstream, right? So putting all this into perspective, as a Gen Xer, I've been to a few funerals already. I've seen my grandfather. I've seen my grandmother pass. I spoke at my father's funeral and I didn't cry. For some backstory, my father fought a deadly, brutal condition called Parkinson's for half his life. And I talk about this in my other videos, but just to give you the backstory, and I saw him pass. And by the time I got to the speech, the farewell speech, the eulogy, I was relieved because he was no longer suffering. All the crying we've already done for so many years that by the time you get to the funeral, you don't feel anything. But yet you see so many other people crying. It was so bad, the trends I noticed is it was so bad. There's a lot of psychological manipulation that goes on at this funeral. So I'm just speaking what I see and experience, folks. Don't take this for anything personal. I tend to express myself. What I see, what I sense, what I pick up, I just say it. And what I saw, particularly at my dad's funeral, is that my father's funeral, is that there were extended family members and even immediate, like aunties, uncles, cousins, that were almost anticipating for me to just break down. You see this smile? This laugh is acknowledging the younger self. I mean, this is in 2018, which is really not that too far off, not too long ago. 6-7 years, that's a decent amount of time. But it's not too far gone that I don't remember that day and who I was. But I knew waking up the day of my father's funeral that I'm going to have to really be tough. And, I'm proud of myself and my two brothers as well. I don't think any one of us we didn't really shed a tear. Our voices did get shaky, but we all held our composure. It was a very proud moment. I was in good communication terms with my biological mother at that time. We are no longer, and I chose to do so. I have my reasons. I'm going to dive in and out of this topic here, but what I've learned by being present at these funerals and also, taking a phone call, an incoming phone call that shares, hey, so-and-so passed away. And I absorbed the news. And I used to react before. Shortly after you pass, you're over. And I'm not trying to be morbid here or not be inhumane. I'm actually being very practical. Like once someone shares the news that you have moved on to the other universe, they move on to the next story. So what's for dinner? I wonder how long the services are going to take. Man, do I really have to go? Do I really need to attend? And let's not even talk about the estate, right? Like the will and your assets and how that's going to be divvied up. I mean, I know people still in a bad position, in a bad blood between their relatives and immediate family members because how that was handled. Decades after that passing it's long gone. So your moment is as good as a split second. You're gone. That's it. I would say your moment is done even a few days leading up to that moment where you're like officially not breathing. And if you've been around that atmosphere, you will quickly realize why you do need to give a ish about your health, longevity, doing this. But for a topic like this, I had to come out and walk because there's a lot of emotions that can arise, right? So walking helps me manage those emotions. Many benefits to walking, and one of them is managing your anger, your blood pressure, your digestion. You know, intermittent fasting. That's what I do. I finish eating at 6 o'clock. That was my last meal. I timed this walk because I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it gets up there 108, 112, 113 next week Fahrenheit. That's, you can fry an egg. Literally, you can fry an egg. So you're an afterthought, folks. People are already planning the next party, the next event. I've had people talk about someone, so and so is getting married, so and so's birthday party, or it's going to be lit next weekend. Guess where my vacation? I'm going to Cancun. I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to Hawaii. I bought this car. I got this promotion at work. Funerals. These ceremonies, not just funerals, but just get-togethers. You're quickly forgotten. You can be hailed a hero. You can be put up on a pedestal, but you're easily forgotten. And I have a couple of, one day I'm fully aware I'm going to be that statistic, but until that day, I have a responsibility to keep doing this. And a word to my fellow Gen X is that I think this is a golden opportunity to really reignite our passion for life. Because as far as I see it, we are the last hope for this generation and for this planet. I've come across a few channels recently that really resonate with the message that I'm trying to pass on, is be an example. Like I actually show myself working out. I show myself walking. I show myself doing martial arts, how I eat. I talk about fasting quite a bit. A lot of these things need to come together for you to be an optimal human being, fat burning machine, if you want to call it. Heck, just do the minimum, I say. The minimum is your responsibility to walk. And if you don't engage your joints, you don't engage, your mobility, you don't fire those muscles on a daily basis, do it on a daily basis, you're going to lose it. Your age is going to show. Precisely why I'm reversing backwards. I have wrinkles, look. But it's not those kinds of wrinkles that is out of the ordinary. Like, I still look younger than half of y'all, millennials and Zs. And there's no secret. The secret is really putting in the work, being dedicated. And as I say, 24 hours in a day. And if you want to beat the population and get ahead of competition, you wake up a little bit earlier to give yourself 26, 27 hours. You beat the day by starting early in the day. Something that this generation of today, something that our Gen Zs won't get. This generation today will not get. Y'all don't have the discipline, the self, the drive. We do, us Gen X's do. So this is, again, not to talk smack, but also to inspire my current generation and the past generation, my Gen X. I'm living the life of a 20-something-year-old, and physically, mentally, sometimes biologically, because I keep up. And I inspire you, I challenge you to keep up. Just the other day, I dropped a video about the 2024 military draft, which is in motion now. Like, I think it's moved on to include women. I'm up to par with my fitness. I'm not training for a triathlon or anything like that, but I'm up to par. The question I'm going to leave you with this, and I said this in the other video, is knowing that you're going to be forgotten. And when this life ends, you are forgotten. You're gone. You're no longer on this earth making a difference. You're gone. Your legacy, whatever you leave behind, you leave behind. So how will you be remembered? I know that I am going to be remembered with all of this that I'm passing on and I'm leaving behind. And trying to inspire you lazy, you know what? That you can actually begin your life all over again. 45 and over, 40 and over. You can't start your life again. I've never felt this good in my life. I'm living some of the best quality years of my life today. More present. Obviously, I realize more and more being at these funerals that how precious life is and time is. And I would give anything to say that I would walk every day. I would eat right 90% of the time to earn another day on planet Earth. Otherwise, you're going to wither away and die. You're going to pay for it somehow, one way or the other, the back end or the front end. And I've already put the work in the front end. I've just started talking about my martial arts journey. I just dropped the video about the Karate Kid's 40th anniversary. That single-handedly, how that movie turned around the lives of young kids like me back in the day. Families overnight changed because of that movie. And when I compare the times that I came from, how I was built mentally, I'm not talking about my physical attributes and what I'm able to do. You can check that out. I am so proud to come from that generation. Because if I was born today, yes, I have more time on this planet, but I would be sleepwalking with the fools, with the rest of the zombies, and just following sheep. And you know how much time you waste by just following other people and the masses and not thinking independently? That's what Gen X's do. That's why we just sleep on ourselves, meaning just we're good. You don't need to F with us. We're quiet. We're watching. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We do that, and that's it. Like we mind our own effing business. I got a roof over my head. My bills are paid. My rents are paid. I drive a nice car. Yes, sir. I work my behind for an AMG C63S, and I'm so proud. It's a V8 bi-turbo, twin turbo, whatever you want to call it. I'm good. I'm good. I got food. I got my health. Got some nicks and bumps and stuff that's happened over life, but I am able to do 90%, if not more, of those athletically inclined things that a 25-year-old could. And I thought it's going to wither away. It's still there. Everything is there. And I demonstrate this in my videos. I'm coming to life now. I'm like, my walk's making me feel good. You know, I got that good vibe and the pheromones not kicking in. So, but it's all related of what going to funerals and realizing being around all of these passings and paving the way forward, that I cannot just be another statistic that just passes on and moves on. This is what I need to leave behind. I'm not selling a course. I'm not, none of that. I'm inspiring. That's all I'm doing. I think if this message lands on whoever it needs to find, it will. Especially if you're Gen Xers and you want to connect. We can. That door is always open. I'll always be here. Obviously, I want to take this somewhere at some point and start helping for real, my fellow Gen Xers and Boomers even. And even Gen Zs, man. As much as y'all are annoying, I'm never going to turn my back completely on y'all. Because you're going to look back at this one day and say, you were right. Then that's exactly what a lot of people are telling me. You were right, Jazz. Yes, sir. Not always. Most of the time I'm crazy, though. Like, I am. I've been to one too many funerals. So you don't wait until it's too late. And you cannot turn the clock back anymore. Alright? You know how we do this. I'm out.